everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tuber. Welcome back. If this is your 13th and possibly final episode review for Walker Independence, either of the show or season 1, because at the time of this recording, we do not know what the future is for Walker Independence. As of this recording, it has not yet been renewed for season 2. It has now been canceled. We don't know. The only words we have is that Jared Padalecki, the star of Walker and the EP of both Walker and Walker Independence, has stated before that there are plans in place to keep Independence's story going. Same with Walker as well. We don't know what that means entirely, whether that means it going to a whole new home in case CW does decide to pass over it. We don't really know. We really don't know. But I feel like after this finale, I'm more confident than not that, like, yeah, we could do a whole new season. We could. But at the same time, I feel satisfied if this is the end of the story. Yeah, it feels one of those open-ended things where it tells its story and it ends it, but it leaves the threads for, like, what season 2 could bring. I personally feel like a hypothetical season 2 would be a little bit of a stretch, but again, that's just my personal opinion right now, but we're not here to talk about what I want to see in season 2 if we get one. We're here to talk about Independence, the finale, which honestly, it didn't. I was not expecting it to be paced the way it is. I definitely feel like, yeah, it kind of felt superfluously over-ended, and I'm just like, yeah, there's no way they were going to resolve everything they've been setting up throughout this season in terms of the finale, and it didn't. But thankfully they only had to finish up the important storylines and were able to, like, you know, progress forward with, hey, season 2 would come and we already have an idea where to go. So I feel like the finale definitely did its purpose and definitely did what it set out to do. So with that being said, let's go for the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of Walker Independence. Also, I feel a little, give me a second. I'm so sorry. It should be fine, yeah. Sorry, it's just the camera is like a little bit wonky today, so I'm just making sure that I'm perfectly in frame. At least that you can see me. I think I'm good. I believe I'm good. Yeah. So we begin where the last episode left off. Again, this is like I think the third time they've used this same frame throughout the last few episodes. We see Tom's brother taking him out of the barn, you know, just once again repeating that, you know, I had to save you, man. You know, I knew I wasn't going to kill you. Like, we're going to get out of this together once again, like family. Presumably Gus is dead. They hit all the evidence fairly well, and yeah, so they're figuring out what the next move is. You know, Tom's brother's been very much, is basically near death. Them going to any other town right now with no horse, no real equipment, he's gonna die. And he says, like, yeah, well, we got to make up a story. We got to get back to Independence and, like, get ourselves fixed up, and then try to find some way out of this that doesn't perceive, because, like, it's already too late. Gus cannot be the killer. They can't pin the blame on him. So they have to find some sort of excuse to get them out of this. But Tom's like, yeah, the only way I see this situation maybe passing through is if one of us is dead. Since Tom brother's on the ground, like, you know, the most wounded of all somehow. Tom kills him on the spot, having no choice but to kill his brother. Around the same time, Abby, who's at Tom's house, notices she notices, what was I going to say? She's still realizing that, yeah, Tom had Liam's book. So, still thinking that, like, Tom's the killer after all. She races over to his private barn house. She finds Gus there bleeding out and somehow musters the strength to not only lift the dude, to pull him over back to the horse, lift him up, and somehow get him to town somehow. This is around the same time where everyone in town are, like, you know, continuing their mind business. Hoyt's still bonding with that kid that we saw in the last episode. The real reason why he's independent is because he's looking for his dad. That he and his mom, that whoever his dad is and his mom hooked up back when they were back east, generally speaking. And that, you know, he never met his dad, but he gathered some information about him, and, like, Independence is where he's at right now. And Hoyt's kind of a little scared because, like, how old is this kid? How old am I? Have I ever been east? Oh, shit. And considering the fact this kid's demonstrating similar skills to Hoyt, has a similar personality to him, he's like, oh, no. Oh no. He's feeling the worst, but that's interrupted when Tom rolls into town, all bloodied up, all wounded. First thing is he hits the sheriff's office. Caden and Hoyt immediately asking questions, what's going on? Did you find your brother? And he's like, yeah, I did find my brother. He knocked me out. I was held hostage. He escaped. I don't know where he's at right now. You know, Gus was there too, and he kind of fucked up originally. He said now that Gus is involved, which I know he kind of had to admit that for the story. But not too long after he was about to explain what happened to Gus, Abby rolls into town with Gus behind her, somehow alive. He is alive. He was not shot through the neck. He was shot through the shoulder, which I'm like, okay, thank God. You know, he's safe. He's safe. They didn't kill him. Thank God. So she immediately pulls him over to the sheriff's office, but the doctor's on vacation right now, so they're gonna have to, like, you know, use Kai and, like, you know, very rudimentary ways to, like, heal him up, while Tom, like, has no choice but to let them heal him up, because anything else, he's gonna, like, ruin his cover, everything right now. He still has a way, like, you know, he's still knocked unconscious. He doesn't have the strength to speak. This is their chance right now to, like, this is his chance to, like, kind of, you know, somehow still maintain a little bit of control over the group right now. So Kai fishes out the bullet in his shoulder. Caliban cauterizes the wound with a hot iron. So he's good to go. He's safe, but he's resting right now. Tom makes this opportunity to talk to Kai, like, hey, as soon as he wakes up, I'm the first to talk to him. No one else. I'm the first. So you come and get me. So Tom leaves. He's goes back to Hagen's, to his private office, starts packing a getaway bag filled with money, medicinal supplies, weapons. However, Kate already getting some intel from Kai, because she and Abby both notice that he's acting a bit sus right now. Goes to his private office, sees him packing up, you know. He's trying to continue making these stories of, like, yeah, I'm just going to the nearby town, getting a real doctor. You know, Kai did a great job on Gus, but I don't need that. I need a real doctor right now, so I'm gonna go head over to the nearby town. I'll be back. And she's like, sure about that? Not like you're trying to get away from us? And then that's when Kate starts listing up all the evidence she has against Tom, and then eventually Tom, like, eventually knows that, yeah, the act is blown right now. You know, he's done. He's about to go and attack Kate, but Kate already has, like, a concealed pocket gun on hand, so she manages to keep him at bay. Tom is trying to reach for the knife under his desk, but once Kate realizes what he's doing, she tries to shoot him. He does get partially shot for the ear, not like a full ear blown up, but he does get a little injured. But he manages to get the knife. But he notices that he has his gun nearby, so he throws the knife at her to get his gun. But instead of shooting at her, he jumps over the thing, luckily lands into, like, a cart passing through with hay, and manages to, like, break his fall. Gus, meanwhile, at the same time, wakes up finally. They're about to treat his wound, but however, you know, Abby still is wondering, like, you know, because she noticed on Tom's hand shackle marks from when he was struggling with the cuffs, and they were the exact same cuffs that Gus has on his hand as well, indicating, like, yeah, you know, Gus was going to arrest Tom, but then for some reason he escaped. Abby, as well with the other information she just learned, decides, okay, enough's enough. Tom killed my husband. It's time to bring him in. Fuck the law. We're going to take him down right now. This is our only chance. So Tom hits the street of Independence, trying to get to a horse. Thankfully, Kate manages to shoot away his only option until Caliban and Hoyt show up for reinforcements. Then getting into a gunfight with Tom, but Tom shoots down Caliban briefly. Hoyt runs out of bullets and also almost nearly gets shot by him before Caliban gets enough strength to, like, push him out of the way. They continue their onslaught against Tom, but eventually Tom manages to shoot out Hoyt's leg, manages to, like, weaken them while he's about to get away. He's almost close to the finish line, but Abby shows up to give him another shot, once again trying to make an escape. Kai shows up briefly. At this point, you know, Tom is trying to plead to the town people, like, this is a mutiny, this is an uprising, we got to stop them right now, everyone come help me out, but no one's listening, no one's trying to help him out. Even Kai decides to, like, you know, back out, not willing to participate. Abby gets another shot in. Eventually, Tom decides, fuck it, we're going to do a stand-up, old-fashioned Western style. Abby, actually not even Abby, they're about to shoot, but Gus stands up at the last minute with enough energy to shoot Tom and finish him off. But Abby does not decide to kill him. She wants the law to prosecute him, so she just knocks him out with the butt of her gun, knocking him up, thus ending Tom once and for all. I believe it's been like a little bit of an afternoon or like the next day, but we cut to Tom in the cell. Abby's doing the interrogation. She wants him to confess to everything he's done, and to basically just admit what wrong is. Tom clarifies a little bit more about himself, that the whole reason why he really did this is because of loyalty to family, that his aunt pulled him out of an institution when he was wrongly, sentenced for a crime he didn't really commit to protect his brother. So he kind of still owes them for like their protection, for their safety. And I want to say, so he explains that, and then eventually, he knew about Liam's sudden like turn, like this was going to be an issue for them, so he was sentenced over there. He also tells Abby, I knew the whole time you were Liam's wife. I knew the whole thing before you even came, but I was smitten by you. I was in love with you. That you were the person I chose to save. He even briefly mentions, I had this girl back east, and we were great together. I nearly threw away my life to be with her, but I chose not to, which is like a little coincidental, but we'll get to more about that in a second. What was I gonna say? So eventually, he admits, so we come back to the night that Liam died, where it was technically Tom's brother who shot first, but however, he didn't finish the job quick enough, so he was backing away from the fight. However, Tom knew that there's a chance Liam could survive, possibly, and also with Abby close by, he has to find a way, so he has no choice but to end Liam's suffering by killing him, also shooting the barrel, destroying the wagon. But he knew the trajectory of Abby's position, like, she'll be fine, she'll be good, which I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for Caliban, she'd be dead. It wasn't because of you, it was because of Caliban. But I'm like, okay, whatever you want to say, bro, whatever you want to say. But between all that, he does admit, okay, fine, I will confess to my sins. And we'll let it be on that. So he signs a written document confessing his guilt. It's enough for Gus to call over the Texas Rangers to get him arrested, probably to face a proper trial in Austin. So the day comes when he's getting taken away by the Rangers. This is also the same time Gus has officially been promoted to sheriff of Independence, so he finally gets the job. So congratulations to him. Tom gets the walk of shame through town, with all the townspeople looking at him. He gets to have a little, kind of like some final exchanges with Cade, with Hoyt, even with Abby. He's trying to make himself not feel like the bad guy here, but like everyone knows, like, you're a piece of shit, get the hell out of here. However, around the same time, some other Independence bystander who I guess receives mails or like letters and everything, he gets a message saying that a message to be written on a nearby building in red paint. By the time Tom leaves with the Rangers heading off to Austin, so Kate, what was it? So Kate passes through. She sees the message where it says that anyone who can free Tom Dickerson will get $10,000. So Kate tells him to take it down, and so now that he realized someone's going to plan a coup on him, it's probably not Independence. Other towns are probably getting the message as well that, there's a bounty out for Tom. Go get him right now. Bring him alive. So what was I going to say? So afterwards, so Kate, Abby, Hoyt, and Caliban mobilize. They head over on horses to go find and stop whoever might go after Tom. However, when Tom's already in the wagon, he notices a similar tattoo to someone he killed before in the past. The guy knocks him out, but it's unclear what the heck really happened there. But it's assuming that guy took Tom hostage, or something of that along that matter. Eventually, once they do find the wagon, they find Tom gone, the guy that was holding him gone, but the driver dead. So so Tom is in the win right now, and we're like, fuck, damn, what happens now? What really happens now? So from that point on, we head back to Independence. Despite them losing Tom, it's still a victory that Tom's out of Independence. Eventually, he is a wanted man, so they will find him eventually. So all well that ends well there. Abby goes over to visit Gus, making sure she's going to come for their celebratory dinner against Daverson. He'll be there in a minute, but he's still feeling a little bit wounded. He's not fully healed emotionally and physically, so he's not 100% himself right now. So, but either way, Abby heads over to Kai's place. They whipped up a fabulous meal for them to celebrate over. Even Kate stealing some fancy drinks for the occasion. And she even sings a song about their friendship, about how important they are to each other. And no matter what, they'll always be together, no matter what. And Gus watches from the sidelines. knowing everything's all right, but Howard decides not to join them for dinner. But Caliban does sense him, so he decides to leave as well to go see his friend overlooking the town of Independence. That he's in charge now. He's the man who's got to protect all this people. That the last sheriff was not what they needed. Now he could be the sheriff that they actually need. We get a little bit of an update on the on Caliban's tribe, what the new leader is still deciding. The new leader still wants war, so that's still an open plot line for the later on. But we'll see how that goes. Eventually, Kate goes back to the saloon, not to the saloon, the Hagen's, and Kai joins her, giving her the rest of her brandy that she brought over. They drink it together, and Kate admits that she owns Hagen's now. That apparently when Hagen's originally signed over the place to Tom, he left the clause there, and just in case if you get arrested or killed or you just disappear. Just magically disappear. Kate is the new de facto owner. So yeah, she's in charge now. She's the woman in charge. She wants to do more shows, but she wants a partner. She can't do it alone. She wants Kai to be the partner. He agrees, and they toast to their newfound success. Abby and Hoyt are walking for independence, just kind of reflecting on just what just happened recently. And, Hoyt admits to for the first time in my life, I'm kind of satisfied with where I am. I don't need to jump over to another town or do something else. I'm happy here. I was also happy and acceptful that I could have been a dad for a while. Because also I forgot he had a scene with the kid again. And they're like, oh no, you ain't my dad. My dad's from the wealthy family. And I'm like, oh no, wealthy guy. Okay, that's a little more suspicious, mind you. But however, we don't know the identity of that father just quite yet. But Hoy is ready to potentially be a dad. Maybe not today, but eventually. But yeah, so that's a little bit, precarious to think about, that Hoy wants to be a dad, and maybe he is ready for fatherhood. And even Abby's like, yeah, maybe with Luisa, right? And she's like, I don't know, really. Maybe. I really don't know. But that's also quite curious. Luisa's not in this episode. We just forgot about her. Obviously she's back over at her ranch, taking care of business. But it's kind of weird. They didn't include her because, yeah, she's not. I don't think she's part of the main cast, but she is part of the cast in a way speaking. So it would have made sense for her to be involved here, but she isn't. The kid shows out claiming he won a pretty good game of poker, which I'm like, dude, you are not believable whatsoever. But he does give Hoyt a little run for his money, thinking that he stole all of his money, and Hoyt goes after him. And Hoyt, maybe you're not ready to be a dad, not yet. But it turns out to be Abby, just as a joke. She took the money from him, just to play a little prank on him. But Abby's back over at Hagen's, brushing up on her penal law. She hears someone in the distance, someone mentions her name, Abby, but she ignores it, starts playing something on the piano. However, across the lands of Texas, the barren lands of Texas, Tom is by a campfire, perfectly fine, but alone. But then someone just magically arrives in front of him on a horse. He gives him some weird item. I don't know what it is. And Tom looks up. And he's like, I'm glad to see you again, Dad. But that was the end of this. But that was the end of the first hopefully the first season of Walker Independence with that cliffhanger. Not really a cliffhanger. I mean, it's weird they kind of kept it open-ended because, they didn't show the guy's face. He was a pretty bulky dude, so it could be anyone. But who knows? It could have been maybe, I don't know really. I really don't know who could it be really. But yeah, that was a wrap on Walker Independence, whether that was the first season or not, or just the show period. That was a wrap. So for the finale standpoint, I thought this was really, really good. Definitely they tackled what was important. They definitely had to finish up the Tom storyline once and for all. That was the main priority. I would have honestly felt really, really bad if they decide, oh, we're going to keep Tom going for another season of being in power, which I'm like, thank God they didn't do that option. Thank God. He's arrested. He's wanted. He confessed. No matter what, that will still be on record. So that will be a good thing going forward, that we don't have to repeat any tropes. Obviously, again, with the uncertainty of things, it was, I really don't know, whether it was a safe bet to, not resolve the other storylines with the tribe and, now this kid, potentially maybe being Tom's son. Who knows? Which it makes sense because, again, we got to establish family. We got to establish legacy with these characters because, again, yeah, Abby needs to have a family to continue the Walker name. Uh, Obviously, this kid could be a Davidson, so that could also lead into like future Davidsons down the road. Hoyt mentioning like, yeah, I want to be a dad someday, which like, yeah, you will have to. But yeah, so those are all big question marks. So like, again, like there needs to be an establishment of like, how does the Rollins family storyline continue? How does the Walker storyline continue? How does the Davidson storyline continue? Like, obviously there are these big threads, and there's like a couple things that I was fearing during this episode, which I'm going to say for the season 2 predictions. But overall speaking, I thought this was great. Like the fight between all of them at the beginning was pretty good. Abby and Tom having their moment together in the cage was like really intimate, and was actually, this is definitely the tension I wanted. The ending was okay. I mean, again, it was emotional to see the least. Like, yeah, they're like a family now. They are close knit. Like, they're gonna be together for no matter what. Especially Kate and Abby, Hoyt and Abby, Caliban and Gus. Like, they're still one big unit, and there's still plenty of stuff they still need to get to make Independence the town it deserves to be. But that will be a story, maybe hopefully for another day. But for now, I think Walker Independence does right the ship with this season. It definitely wrapped it up. But I'll talk more about that later. But overall, this was a really good finale. And I want to give this episode 2 thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the finale of Walker Independence? Let's talk about it down below. And that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing and have reviewed every episode in the hopeful first season of Walker Independence. However, this is not the end of Independence right now. Next week on the same time, well, on the Thursday time slot, we will be back with the Walker Independence Season 2 predictions, where I will be predicting what I would want to see in a hypothetical Season 2 if we don't get renewal by then. Then the week after that, we will be doing a Walker Independence Season 1 review, non-spoilers for anyone who has yet to catch on Walker Independence. And then by that point, we will be back next week with Walker as the main show comes back, because it's on hiatus right now. Normally, we would be doing Rookie Fed, but that's also on hiatus right now. Next week, we're going to start over Perry Mason. Tomorrow, we have our episode 469 special that will be coming out then. But again, if this is the end of the road for you for now for Walker Independence, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying along for these 13 reviews. It's been fun to expand the Walkerverse in the past. I would not decline an offer to come back here, but we shall see where the future might hold. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not. Ring the bell for notification, and like, favorite, share, and follow us on social media. But until we hopefully will see each other again in the future, for all you members of the town of Independence, thank you so much for this journey. For now, if you are going to keep on for a little bit longer for the extra stuff, I'll see you all for the next 2 weeks. But until then, in the future, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.